More travelers than ever are being stopped from boarding their flights in 2025. Imagine this. You've booked your dream trip, packed your bags, passed through security, and you're standing at the gate. You can even see your plane through the window. But just as you're about to board, the agent says, "You can't get on." It's happening more often now, and some of the reasons are truly surprising. In this video, I'll explain 11 shocking reasons why this could happen to you and how to avoid it. Don't miss number 11, because it's something that could completely ruin your trip, and it's more common than you'd expect. Let's dive in. Your carry-on bag is too big and you refuse to check it. Airlines are getting really strict about carry-on sizes now. Even if your bag looks like it will fit in the overhead bin, gate agents are using measuring racks to double-check. If your bag doesn't fit, they might ask you to check it at the gate. But if you refuse, you could be denied boarding right there. This has even happened to people carrying valuable items, medicine, or musical instruments. A famous violinist was once told to check her 200-year-old violin or miss the flight. Harsh, right? So the lesson is, don't argue with the gate agent about your bag. You won't win. You showed up on time, but the gate was already closed. Here's the thing. Your flight time is not the same as your boarding time. Most airlines close the gate about 15 minutes before departure, but now some are closing it even earlier, especially if everyone has already checked in. You could be relaxing at a cafe in the airport, thinking you have plenty of time, and suddenly the gate is shut. Once it's closed, it doesn't matter how fast you run or how much you plead, you won't get on. Some travelers have even heard their names called over the speaker, only to get to the gate and find it completely empty. So, no matter when you think you should be there, plan to get there even earlier. Your name doesn't match your ID. This may seem like a small detail, but it can completely ruin your trip. If the name on your flight ticket doesn't exactly match your passport or government-issued ID, you could be denied boarding at the gate. Airlines take this seriously because of strict international security rules. Even using a nickname, like Sam instead of Samuel, can cause problems if your ID says something else. There was even a guy who booked a ticket for his friend under the name Fluffy McKittens as a joke. It was funny, sure, but it nearly ruined the guy's vacation. Always double-check your booking to make sure you're using your full legal name. And if there's a typo, fix it before heading to the airport. Some airlines charge for name changes, but that's a lot better than missing your flight. You missed the check-in cutoff. Even if you arrive early at the airport, you can still be denied boarding if you miss the check-in deadline, which usually closes 30 to 60 minutes before departure. This often surprises people, especially at large airports where the lines can be long. You might think, "I've got an hour, I'm fine." But if you haven't checked in or dropped your bag by the cutoff time, they won't let you through security. Here's the kicker. Some airlines are quietly shortening those cutoff times without telling passengers, leaving many travelers caught off guard, especially those who check in at the desk instead of online. The lesson here? Always check in online when you can and be aware of your airline's specific deadlines. Don't assume they're all the same. You refused facial recognition at the gate. Some airports are going high-tech with facial recognition boarding. Instead of scanning your boarding pass, a camera scans your face and compares it to your passport photo in a secure database. It's quick, efficient, and a bit controversial. Many people refuse to take part due to privacy concerns. However, here's the catch. On some international flights, you may not have the option to opt out, especially if you're not a citizen of the country you're flying from. Refusing the face scan means you won't be able to fly. Even if you can opt out, manual ID checks can slow things down and could cause delays, enough to make you miss your boarding window. So whether you like it or not, the future of flying is watching your face. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments. You were rude to airline staff. You might not think a little attitude at the gate matters, but it does. Airline staff have the authority to deny you boarding if they believe you'll be a problem in the air. Sometimes this decision is made in a split second. Maybe you rolled your eyes, raised your voice, or argued about a seat change. No matter if you were right, they can still kick you off. One woman was denied boarding after arguing with a gate agent over baggage fees, while another was pulled aside for being sarcastic during check-in. Gate agents are trained to spot red flags before passengers even board the plane. So here's the tip: stay calm, be polite, and smile. Your trip could literally depend on it. You got bumped from an overbooked flight. Here's the surprising part. Even if you do everything right, check in early, arrive on time, and be friendly to the gate agent, you can still be denied boarding. Why? Because your flight was overbooked. Airlines sell more tickets than there are seats, hoping for a few no-shows. But when everyone shows up, someone's not getting on. They usually ask for volunteers first, sometimes offering cash or travel credits. If no one volunteers, they start picking people, and it's not always random. It could depend on your check-in time, fare class, or even your frequent flyer status. So, what can you do? Check in as early as possible, join your airline's loyalty program, even if you don't fly often, and avoid booking basic economy. Those seats are often the first to be given up if someone gets bumped. You smelled weird. This might be uncomfortable to hear, but it's a real reason you could be denied boarding. If a gate agent or flight crew thinks your body odor or cologne is too strong or offensive, they can refuse to let you board to avoid complaints from other passengers. It's not just about hygiene. Strong perfumes, essential oils, or even lingering cigarette smoke can cause allergic reactions or discomfort on a full flight. And here's the twist: there's no official rule about this. It's entirely up to the airline's judgment. So if someone complains or the crew thinks it could be an issue mid-flight, they might play it safe and leave you behind. Before heading to the airport, make sure you smell fresh and travel ready, not like a scented candle store. You didn't have the right ID or passport. Not all IDs are created equal, especially if you're flying internationally or even on certain domestic flights. If your passport is damaged, expired, or doesn't have enough blank pages, you could be denied boarding before you even reach the gate. Some countries require your passport to be valid for at least 6 months from your arrival date, not your departure date. Others may require multiple blank visa pages. If your passport has rips, water damage, or is just worn out, it's a risk the airline won't take. Even for domestic flights, if the country is enforcing new ID rules, like the Real ID in the US, a regular driver's license might not be enough. The bottom line: double-check passport rules for your destination, and don't assume your ID is valid just because it worked last time. You booked with a glitch and didn't know it. You found an amazing flight deal, everything seemed smooth, and your email confirmation looked legit. But when you show up at the airport, they can't find your booking. Or worse, it was accidentally canceled. This happens more often than you might think. A payment glitch, a failed card authorization, or even booking 2 one-way tickets on separate airlines can confuse the system. Sometimes, third-party booking sites don't sync properly with the airline's database. You think you have a ticket, but the airline sees an incomplete booking or a ghost reservation. If your name isn't in their system at check-in, you're not flying. So always confirm your reservation directly with the airline a few days before your trip and take screenshots of everything just in case. But before we get to the wildest reason travelers are being denied boarding in 2025, please do me a quick favor. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button. And if you love travel tips that save you money, stress, and airport drama, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Now, let's get to the final reason. And this one could ruin more than just your trip. You were flagged by mistake and now you're on a no-fly list. This is the nightmare no one sees coming. You check in, everything seems normal, and then the agent pulls you aside and tells you that you can't board. But no one can give you a straight answer as to why. In some rare but very real cases, travelers have been wrongly flagged or accidentally placed on no-fly lists due to things like sharing a name with someone else, a past in-flight incident, even if it wasn't serious, or a computer error or security database glitch. One woman showed up for her sister's wedding only to find out she'd been banned from flying over something she didn't even do. It took weeks to clear her name, and she missed the wedding. You can't always prevent this, but you can lower the risk. Avoid causing drama during flights, don't joke about security, and stay away from certain flagged phrases. If you've had trouble before, call the airline days before your flight to confirm your status. Finding out at the gate is way too late. And there you have it, 11 reasons travelers are being denied boarding in 2025. See you next video. Take care.